I'm joined here by head coach Doug Williams. Coach, before we talk about the updated spring game, let's kind of go back and take a look at the 2011 championship season. Started off with a rival that you're used to in Alcorn. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, the season 2011 was a season that no other probably ever been through, and pretty much hard to explain. You know, Shaq Harris and I, we talked about it, and Shaq feel like that's, you know, regardless of the record, had to be one of the greatest Grambling seasons ever, one of them, because of the things that happened down the stretch. We started off in a rainy night in Shreveport and found a way to win the opening season game, which at the end of the day, when you look back at it, was a major game for us because we won. And after that, you know, we hit kind of a rocky road. You know, went to ULM. We had a young ball club, young players. We really didn't know each other that well, and we had an opportunity to make it a better football game, but missed out on a couple opportunities and made a couple mistakes here and there and got out of hand. Went to peer review in the third quarter, went up on them and had a chance to go ahead and win the football game, but for some reason couldn't sustain a couple drives, and they hit a couple big plays and changed the whole dynamics of the game. And next thing you know, Alabama State, who has a pretty good football team, we had a bunch of turnovers there that you know, when you turn the football over, you're not going to win. Mistakes are not going to win. But you know, all that was a test to a bunch of young players, especially at the quarterback position. And the next week, Alabama A&M came in here and beat us by 6 points. But I look at it from a positive standpoint because we lost by 6 and had 8 turnovers, which told me right then we were a better football team than we thought we were. And after that, we had an open date, which I think everybody got their minds together and realized that we was a lot better football team than we had been playing. Then after that open date, we came homecoming, and with Concordia was something that we really needed was a W, a win. And I think what that did for all the players, make them realize that if we go out and do what we're supposed to do, we had enough talent to win. And we was able to reel off 7 straight football games. And you know, it's very southern that the best teams, no matter what league they're in, is backs against the wall, and you're trying to go to a championship, and the only way you go to championship is not to lose. And for these young guys to win 7 football games consecutively in a row, and the coaching staff did together, I think is a testament to their character, how they band together and realized that if anything was going to get done, we had to do it, and that's exactly what they did.
Looking at, you know, in your mind, and you see a lot more than the average person will see when it comes to players and plays and designs that you guys have for your players. Can you tell me 5 plays that you think were the turning point in the season?
Oh yeah, I think I can come up with 5. Hopefully, you know, and you know, as a football coach, the worst thing you can do is get caught up in what they say. Never been a they say guy, whether as a player and definitely as a coach. And as coaches, you know, you're here with the guys day in and day out, and you know, you read comments, what people say, but at the same time, you know, they go to work every day on their jobs, and they do a good job at their job, and Saturday for them is their fan and a hobby for them, so we can't let those guys make decisions for us, and we don't. One of the biggest plays, you know, start off the first game was a 4th down situation, I think, and maybe the 3rd down, I'm not for sure, it's been so long ago, but I remember DJ coming to the sideline, and we was trying to put ourselves in position to probably get a field goal or something, and he said, "No, Dan, don't do that. I said, "What, man?" I said, we trying to, he said, "No, let me throw a fade." And I said, okay. You know, as a quarterback and having been a quarterback, one thing I've learned from coaches, and Joe Gibbs is always that guy, if the quarterback says something can work, got to give him a shot at it. And he went in and threw a perfect ball to our guy, Super Mario, and he made a catch. And, you know, all you can do is walk away and believe in the guys. I think that was a big play because it kind of put us in a position to really buckle down and hold on to win that football game. And, you know, not the Concordia game we're not talking about the Concordia game, but the Mississippi Valley game. You know, a lot of people say, the coach put DJ in just to win the game. That's not what we do. But if that's the case, we win the game. It doesn't matter. But DJ was going in the game regardless, because early in the game, a lot of things was happening from the sideline that we thought we had to make a change, and just so happened Mississippi Valley kept the ball for a long time. And when DJ did get a chance, it was an opportunity to win the football game, and that was another situation that we was running the football, and I looked up there and he was changing his play. I went straight to the offensive coordinator because I wanted to choke Byron at that time because he was changing the play. And after that, I just walked away and actually did not see the play. All I heard was the crowd go wild, and I said, well, must have worked. And left it at that. So that's two plays there, and go all the way to the Pine Bluff game. It was a couple big plays there. The one that I think sealed the deal was when Bud Patterson, Edward Patterson, picked that ball off and ran it all the way back down and to make a score. I think at that time it sealed the deal for us and put us in position to really mentality-wise say, hey, we can do this. And probably the biggest game of the year, with no doubt nobody gave us a chance to win, was the Jackson State game. And like I told the players in the dressing room that Jackson was celebrating their 100-year anniversary on Grambling. That usually doesn't happen. It's very seldom Grambling ever play for homecoming or celebration for any school, and Jackson picked us. And I let them know that from a respectability standpoint, you got to go out and play the type of football that Grambling was able to play. And the guys went out and they just did that. And now when you talk about 5 plays, we had 3 plays in this game I think was big as they come for the season. And 2 of them was field goals by Zoltan, a 46-yarder and a 48-yarder, I think was major. And the other one was just for halftime when Super Mario again takes the ball from the quarterback and weave and bob through the whole traffic and went 73 yards for a TD. I think those 3 plays kind of summarize the game and put us in that position to really win. And we come back against Texas Southern, backs against the rope. That Texas Southern game had 3 big plays. And the number one, when it was 3rd and 22, you got a young quarterback that most young quarterbacks say, I got to get a first down. They throw the ball down the field to try to get it all at once. But DJ didn't do that. He dropped back and he got 14 on 3rd down. And it made it 4th and 8. And on 4th and 8, Super Mario run a curl route, and DJ hit him on the money, and it's first down. And the exact next play, he hit Super Mario with the little under screen, and Mario take it to the house. Grambling wins, and that's what it's all about. And at the end of the day, at the end of the game, Tyrese Holland came up with a big play down in the end zone. Here's a freshman coming off the bench, hadn't played much, but you put him in probably one of the most pressurized situations of all, and he made a big play on 4th down.
Okay, those are your big plays. As a coach, was there any doubt that the season would turn around after losing 4 straight?
Well, as a coach, you got to believe, and you got to make sure the players believe, and as the assistant coaches got to believe. You don't go out there and coach and say, well, the season's over, let's just finish. I'm not that type of guy. But every week we went out to win. The games we lost, that's an old motto, and I keep going back to Shaq Harris, who probably was a mentor, one of my better mentors, always told me, if you're going to lose trying to win. So we never went down the hill in other school and figuring that we wasn't going to win. And I think the confidence level of these guys went sky high. This team reminded me a lot of the team that I played on in Washington that went to the Super Bowl. In 1987, we wasn't the most talented football team, but I think we was the most unified football team. And I think last year kind of typified that this football team might not have been strong on talent overall, but I think mindset and confidence level was high as they come in any football team, and they went out and came away with being a champion.
Coach, you lose players like Mario Lewis, Cliff Exuma, Zoltan, Leonard, Rogers, Foster. How does it look coming into the spring?
Well, coming into the spring, we understood, number one, defensively, we was going to lose three defensive linemen right off the bat, and Cliff being our leader, and Brunei. So we knew right then that athletically we had to get better in the secondary, up front. You definitely got to be better in the trenches, and Cliff being that leader that he's been. But you look for people like Jacardi Carter to come in and take over what Cliff left over. But at the same time, we got to depend on some young guys that's coming off out of high school, actually, coming here and play early. And you lose three defensive linemen to graduation, and you're probably going to lose one of the guys that had a great spring in Savage to academics, And so, therefore, our whole defensive line has completely been wiped out. So that in itself is an area that we certainly got to build upon, and we got some young guys coming in here, and they're gonna have to play. Ain't no doubt about it. They're gonna have to play, and maybe stars are gonna be born sooner or later up front. And then you lose a Mario, and we didn't know who Mario was until the season started. Because spring he made a couple of good plays, but we didn't expect Mario to do exactly what he did during the season. So that gives you a little hope in the guys that we had out there this year that somebody, if it's not a Mario, we'll take 3 or 4 half Marios and try to make it work. And I think that's what we're going to do. Our offensive line standpoint, I think we're a lot stronger than we were last year, especially with them getting a whole year under their belt working with Butler in the weight room. We only lost one starter there, so I think we feel pretty good in that area. Quite naturally, the quarterbacks are sophomores, and hopefully they've learned a lot and slowed the game down in their mind a little bit. Running back with Dorrance coming back, and the guy adding guys like Skinner and Jeremy Runner to that bunch with a couple more guys coming in. Feel pretty good from there, but I think at the end of the day we're going to be a lot younger than we were last year.
Coach, you have a situation where there's a new coaching staff, getting to know new players who've been here for a while. The losing sets in frustration, I'm sure. When do you think everybody bought in?
I think everybody bought in during the bye week. Like you said, those players didn't know what to expect from me, and I actually didn't know what to expect for them. But I think once we all realized that we was all in it for one cause, and that was for Grambling and try to win a championship, I think at that particular stage, they realized, hey, I'm winning this G. Coach Williams has won this G. Coach Williams come here with the same mentality that we all want. That's an opportunity to win.
You had 3 championships in your previous stint here, and you have one this past year. How does the 2011 compare to the other 3?
Well, anytime you win a championship, that's a great feeling. The first 3 championships was actually one of those mentalities that you had enough talent on that football team. You're supposed to win. This season, the 2011 season, was a little different, especially the way it started off. And you had the mentality that we're going to find a way to win, not that we're supposed to. We had to find a way, and this team found a way to win. And that's why I think it makes it a lot special. I think for me, I'm never going to forget the 3 in a row, but the 2011 is unforgettable the way it happened.
Coaches change from year to year sometimes when they feel things need to be changed. Will there be any significant changes in your mind from what was done in 2011 to the 2012 season?
Well, ain't no doubt in our mind it's going to be changed because we made some drastic changes offensively for sure, and even defensively. You remember, Coach Ushida was the defense coordinator, and I think it was time to move on from there and give Andre Robertson, who's been a long-time assistant coach, and the opportunity to be a coordinator. And I think he's done a tremendous job this spring. Byron Brown moved from not only the offense coordinator, running back, but now he's the quarterback coach and offense coordinator. We brought in George Ragsdale to coach the running back, and I thought we brought in probably one of the best young talent mind that we can find out there from an offensive line standpoint, and that's Ben Wilkerson. I think it showed during the spring what Ben Wilkerson really means to this football team.
What is Grambling football?
Legacy, history, and hopefully entertaining. You know, Grambling, that G, man, it's so much to go with that. You know, thank God for Prez Jones back in 1941 for giving a guy like Coach Robinson an opportunity to be the coach at Grambling State University. And whenever Grambling takes the field, you know, Prez Jones and Eddie Robinson takes the field with Grambling no matter who's the coach. And, you know, you almost become a co-coach because we all know that when you put on that black and gold, Eddie Robinson is watching down on you. And when you talk about Grambling football, it is Eddie Robinson.